Harshin agus Faltidh go SpeakGaelic. Welcome to SpeakGaelic. Is Misha Joy? My name's Joy. Is Misha Joy, and I'm delighted to be here with a brand new series for everyone who wants to speak Gaelic. Hami idhmagoi. I'm delighted. Hami idhmagoi. That's your first Gaelic phrase, so keep watching as we'll hear it a few times. And I hope you'll be learning lots more like it. Now, if you've always fancied learning Gaelic but never quite got around to it, this is the series for you. And don't worry if you're a total beginner. I learned Gaelic, and if I can do it, so can you. With each programme, we'll learn a little bit more, and you'll find lots of helpful and useful materials, as well as information about classes you can join on our website, and by downloading our podcasts on BBC Sounds. But don't worry, it won't all be hard work. Be spór-zachin. We'll have fun. Be spór-zachin. So, let's get started. Here's what we have for you in this first programme. How to greet people. We'll hit the water in the company of Scotland's favourite explorer, Calum MacIlleathain. Ask someone what their name is. And we'll meet learner Frances Knowes, who'll share with us how she first came to hear about Gaelic.
By learning Gaelic, I can connect to my roots.
There's a lot to look forward to, so I think it's time to speak Gaelic. Avilshiv Jishal, are you ready? Avilshiv Jishal. Let's start. We'll begin with some phrases you can use every day of the week. To say good morning in Gaelic, it's matin va. Good morning. Matin va. And if it's afternoon, feiscer ma. Good afternoon or good evening. Feiscer ma. Matin means morning, matin, and feiscer means afternoon or evening. Feiscer. Matin va and feiscer ma. You'll have noticed that I said matin va, but feiscer ma. We'll find out why later on in the programme. Now, people often greet each other in Gaelic with the phrase Cimera how. How are you? Cimera how. To address more than one person, or if you want to be polite, say with someone who's older, you would say Cimera hashiv. Cimera hashiv. Cimera how and Cimera hashiv. So if someone said Cimera how, you could reply Hami gymma. I'm well. Hami gymma. Or as an alternative, Hami gudóial. I'm doing fine. Hami gudóial. Hami gymma or Hami gudóial. You could also add tachbelicht. Thank you. Tachbelicht. Or again, to be polite, tachbelieve. Tachbelieve. Now, let's see how these phrases can be used in everyday conversation.
Hallo!
Hallo, matin va.
Matin va? Cymra how?
I'm a mat tapalat. Come on in.
Agma tapalat.
Give me the issue. Cheery.
Cheery.
Matin va.
Matin va. Come on, Chef.
I'm a mat tapalat Emma. Come on out ahead.
I'm a doya tapalat.
Come on high.
Hey. Ha I mat tapalat. Nien week macharich.
Oh, ha ikama. Ha.
Ha. Hi cod. Oh, Phoebe me fall off.
Mashallah, cheery.
Let's go through a few of the phrases we heard there. We saw Emma meeting Michael and greeting him with Matin va. Good morning. Matin va. Which he responded to by asking her, Kimera how? How are you? Kimera how? And Emma replied, Hami gema tachbelicht. I'm well, thank you. Hami gema tachbelicht. Later on, we heard Emma greeting Shonny and using the more polite form. Kimera hashiv. How are you? Kimera hashiv, which you would use when talking to an older person. When he asked her how she was, Emma replied with a slight variation on Hami gema, saying, Hami gàidhlig tachbeliv. I'm doing fine, or I'm in good form, thank you. Hami gàidhlig tachbeliv. We also heard Shonny saying goodbye to her with Marschen Licht. Goodbye. Marschen Licht. Let's listen to these phrases again, and you can watch all of the conversations in the series supported by bilingual transcriptions on our website.
Hallo.
Hallo, Matin va.
Matin va. Kimera how?
I'm a tappalat. Come on in.
Agama tappalat.
Keep your ears to cheery.
Cheery.
Matin va.
Matin va. Come on, Ashif.
Hamekama tappalat Emma. Ceumannan.
I'm a gàidhlig tappalat.
Ceumannan.
Ha igema tappalat. Neach-ionnsachaidh.
Oh, ha igama. Ha.
Ha. Hi, tòir. Oh, feeding me fawaf.
Mashallah, cheery.
Now, as a Gaelic learner, there's nothing I enjoy more than meeting others to find out why they're learning, so I'm really looking forward to this next part of the programme. During the series, I'll be chatting to people from all walks of life to find out about some of the highs and hopefully not too many of the lows of being a Gaelic learner. Hami idmogoi gre Francis knows a ha call the rain Jew. I'm delighted to welcome our first ever guest on Speak Gaelic, Francis Knows. But before we start talking, let's find out a little about her and her family.
Is Mr. Francis Knows. I'm Francis Knows. Hami Furuk and Car can Tulich. I've only just started learning Gaelic in the last year. My mum and dad are from Donegal. My mother Nebula used to speak Irish Gaelic to me as a child. When I heard my mum speak Gaelic to my daughter, my memory from my childhood opened up. I knew then it was time to grow with my daughter and my mum and to truly embrace the Gaelic, Celtic language. By learning Gaelic, I can connect to my roots. I've had many opportunities to travel, and I used to live in New York City, a city where you hear many languages. I'm fascinated by the way people communicate and have spent time learning different languages over the past 20 years. Learning some sign language also opened up a whole other world to me. Shaw is Bishop Francis, and I'm BSL. Music is another form of communication, and I work in music management. I wrote a song with my husband called Hashin Kola, We Are One. We wanted to make people aware that Gaelic is a living, breathing language. Ha Gaelic bio. Crying out loud, be Ladger, be Allen, be Kola, Hashin Kola, Kaya, Hashin Kola, Hashin Kola, Hashin Kola. Hashing hola.
Well, fáilte, Francis, go speak Gaelic. Give it a how.
Clever.
Margarita. So, can you tell us a wee bit about your time spent in New York?
Oh, wow, what an experience. I was there for some time, but, you know, like anything, when you go to a new place, there's a lot of magic happening. So when I got there, I decided I wanted to follow the roots of my theatre and my acting, but it ended up going to music because I bartended, and when I walked into the bar the first time and I seen the little stage, I said, oh, I could do a music night here. So that kind of escalated into this brilliant safe haven for musicians and artists to come and perform. So that was like the door opening for me to do the music thing, where I do music management now. So it's brilliant. But you know, the Lower East Side is where I stayed and end up working in, and that's the place where people like Andy Warhol and Penny Arcade and Madonna and Lady Gaga they kind of generated their, you know, art. So me going there and discovering that was like, oh wow. So New York was fun.
Yeah. And do you think that also helped with your fascination with language?
Of course, you're kidding me. You were working in a bar and your background was there's a lot of Latin people and they're speaking Spanish, so you're picking up that. And then of course, you know, like I'm using my hands now. It was the same thing. It was like this fascination with Italians using their hands to describe food. And it was like, wow, there's so many cultures and opportunities to learn more, to communicate with people. So yeah, definitely.
And what was it that prompted you to learn sign language?
Well, sign language, I think, goes back to when I was a child and, you know, you used to do charades. And then when you'd meet people, like when I was travelling and you meet people and they didn't understand you, but they were trying to explain it with their hand, you know, I think I'm eating.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is cool. This is another language. And in New York City, I had met people who came to the bar who were actually not able to hear. So you had to speak to them. You had to try and work out, did they want a drink? What was going on? So part of me was like, I think I might go and take a few classes and see what happens. So that's kind of triggered it off.
So obviously language is very important to you and your family. Does your daughter speak Gaelic?
Yes, my daughter does. She started speaking from birth because my mother speaks Irish Gaelic, so she would speak to her constantly in that language. And then I found out there was Gaelic nursery groups that you could go pre-nursery and then school, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I never had that opportunity. Of course, this is my culture, this is what my family speak. Yes, there's Gaelic and there's Gaelic, but they're of the same, you know, identity. And I thought, brilliant, let's just do this, you know. So yes, she prefers it. She prefers Gaelic.
Oh, I think it'll go far.
Oh, you'll speak. Somebody will ask her something in English, how old are you? And she'll be like, quick, you know, she'll just answer in Gaelic. So I'm just like so proud of her. She's brilliant.
Oh, so special. And can you tell us, what is your favourite Gaelic word or phrase?
It's so difficult to pick a favourite word or phrase because growing up, I have my ancestors speaking Gaelic and saying Iawai and Kajimatete, which is like, you know, good night and Kimmerahau. But I write the song, which is in the video, We Are One. There's a part in it where I say, I like it like that. And it was something that we were tangling back and forth, me and my partner. And I said, oh, I think that in Gaelic is Tillim Marshin. Do you think so? So it was that kind of, it's Tillim Marshin. So it's a kind of ongoing joke with us. It's like, it's Tillim Marshin, it's Tillim Marshin, you know. So it's more a play around words because Gaelic for me is the music of it and teaching. I'm learning through music with my daughter, so I make up songs, putting phrases together, hence the song coming together. So that's my way of learning and having fun with it.
Oh, that is beautiful. I guess Tafflev Gabor, thank you so much for coming to talk to us, and good luck with your Gaelic learning journey. And we will meet another inspirational Gaelic learner in our next programme, but now it's time to enjoy another of Speak Gaelic's regular features. In each programme, we'll be out and about, exploring some of our beautiful country and finding out a few of its best-kept secrets. And who better to have as our guide than all-round Scotland and outdoor enthusiast, Calum MacIlleathain, Calum Maclean. Let's join Calum to find out what he's up to, and I can honestly say that he's in his element.
I really like water, and there's so many different words for it. There's loch, lake, mere, chlin, tarn, bay, estuary, inlet. I could go on and on. But there is one more. The beautiful, glorious Linne, Firth, Linne. And this is the Linne Chrombaigh, the Cromarty Firth. A firth is a narrow inlet of water, and this one separates Easter Ross over there and the Black Isle where I'm standing. The Gaelic for harbour is culla, harbour, and Linne Chrombaigh is one of the deepest and most sheltered natural harbours in the UK. And since the late 20th century, it's offered shelter to these huge structures. The Crown Olla, the oil rig, Crown Olla. Now they don't actually drill for oil here, that happens way out in the North Sea, but it's so down, deep down, that rigs are towed here for repairs. In this firth, the two mighty giants of the sea collide. On the one hand, we have the oil rigs, and on the other, the leumadairean-mara, the dolphin, leumadairean-mara. This is their territory. But I'm not going to see one standing on shore. No, I brought my wetsuit. Nah, no chance. My feet won't touch the bottom. No, I'm going to take a bàta, a boat, bàta. Sarah Pern runs tours on the Linne and knows the rigs and the dolphins. Okay, Sarah, so here in the Cromarty Firth, what kind of wildlife could we expect to see?
Well, we're lucky here to see a variety of wildlife, mainly the most famous bottlenose dolphins. There's a resident colony here. There's also harbour porpoise. This is quite a good area for porpoise here. Sometimes harbour seal, grey seal. We've got a variety of whales as well visiting, occasional visitors. Most common, probably the minke whale. But we've seen everything from humpbacks, pilot whales, fin whale as well over the years.
As well as the animals, you've got these big rigs here. That doesn't annoy the animals, doesn't bother them?
Well, they seem to have coexisted for many years together, and certainly some of them, I would say, almost attract wildlife. We visit this rig behind us here, the TLP, on our trips. We see a variety of seabirds on it, eider ducks. We sometimes see seals hauling out on it. I've seen peregrine use it as well, so maybe slightly unusual, but they do have their uses.
The two headlands at the entrance of the firth are known as the suitors, turas agus gàidhlig, north and south, turas agus gàidhlig. And for centuries, sailors would use the suitors as a guide into the culla. Being on a bàta on the water is almost as good as being in it. The Linne Chrombaigh is home not only to the Crown Olla, but also to the leumadairean-mara. And they've been in the area a lot longer than these guys. Here, I've just realised I never gave you all the Gaelic words for the bodies of water. So there's ceumannan, mur, curl, curlus, long, what? I'm not boring you, am I?
Tachpalit Calum. Thank you, Calum. Tachpalit. And dare I take Calum's side and say that there can never be enough Gaelic words for water, or for anything else for that matter. We'll be joining Calum on his travels in each of our programmes, and thanks to his efforts, we now know that bàta is a boat, Linne is firth, and doin is deep, doin. And if you want to catch up with more of Calum's unique take on Gaelic, you can do that on our social media platforms. Now, are you ready to speak some more Gaelic? Avilshif Jeshal. Are you ready? Avilshif Jeshal. We're going to continue with things you might say to someone when you first meet them. If you don't know each other, you'll probably want to find out their name. And to do this, you would ask, Joy Dunlop. What's your name? Joy Dunlop. Or, to be polite, we use idiv. So it would be Joy Dunlop. Joy Dunlop. And to answer, is Misha. My name is. Followed by your own name. Is Misha Joy Dunlop? I'm Joy Dunlop. Is Misha Joy Dunlop? Another distinctive element of Gaelic is that male and female Scottish surnames take different forms. Many start with mach, meaning son of. However, Gaelic female surnames take the prefix neach, which means daughter of. Neach, mach, and neach. So someone called Calum MacLeod in English would be Calum MacLeod in Gaelic. Calum MacLeod. Whilst Ailey MacLeod would be Ailey Nichlod. Ailey Nichlod. Now let's see if you can recognise any of the phrases or the Gaelic names in this next conversation.
Hallo, Fiskerma. Is Misha Antra MacLeod.
Fiskerma. Is Misha Alice Nicholmish.
Cymryd how, Alice?
Hami gyma tapalat, cymryd how hyn.
Hami gyma môr yn tank. Hallo, Fiskerma. Gyn tanya ma horst. Oh. Fiskerma. Is Misha Antra. Gyn tanya ma horst hyn.
Hallo, Fiskerma Andra. Is Misha Seamus Campbell.
Hallo, Hamish. Cymryd how?
Can you donna tapalat?
Fiskerma. Gyn tanya ma horst.
Hallo Andra. Is Misha Katrina Gonzalez.
Cymryd how, Katrina?
Ha mi gyma tapalat. Ha mi toirt y fi sio.
Hallo Alice, hallo Katrina, hallo Hamish. Cymryd how, chef?
Did you recognise some of the phrases we heard there? Alice greeted everyone saying, Fiskerma. Good afternoon. Fiskerma. And continued to give her name. Is Misha Alice Nicholmish? I'm Alice Thompson. Is Misha Alice Nicholmish? Andra responded by saying, Cymryd how, Alice? How are you, Alice? Cymryd how, Alice? And she replied, Ha mi gyma, tachbalet. I'm well, thank you. Ha mi gyma, tachbalet. Later on, Andra asked Seamus, Jay and Tenyamahorst. What's your name? Jay and Tenyamahorst. And Seamus eventually answered, Is Misha Seamus Campbell? I'm Seamus Campbell. Is Misha Seamus Campbell? Let's listen again to that conversation, and remember, you can watch all of the conversations in this series, supported by bilingual transcriptions, on our website.
Hallo, Fiskerma. Is Misha Antra MacLeod.
Fiskerma. Is Misha Alice Nicholmish.
Cymryd how, Alice?
Ha mi gyma tapalat, cymryd how hyn.
Hami gyma môr yn tank. Hallo, Fiskerma. Gyn tanya ma horst. Oh. Fiskerma. Is Misha Antra. Gyn tanya ma horst hyn.
Hallo, Fiskerma Andra. Is Misha Seamus Campbell.
Hallo, Hamish. Cymryd how?
Can you donna tapalat?
Fiskerma. Gyn tanya ma horst.
Hallo Andra. Is Misha Katrina Gonzalez.
Cymryd how, Katrina?
Ha mi gyma tapalat. Ha mi toirt y fi sio.
Hallo Alice, hallo Katrina, hallo Hamish.
We've heard the expressions Fiskerma, good afternoon, and Matinva, good morning. Good in Gaelic is ma, but we say Matinva. The change from ma to va is called lenition, the softening of a consonant at the beginning of a word, and it's shown in writing by an H after the consonant. This lenition happens often, but in very definite circumstances. In Mathin va, the softening of ma to va tells us that the noun mathin is feminine, but fisker is masculine, so the sound of ma is unchanged. Fisker ma, but mathin va. Just like French, Spanish or Italian, nouns in Gaelic are either masculine or feminine. And as you learn more of them, you'll need to try and remember what gender they are. But you'll quickly get the hang of it, and we'll be giving you some useful pointers that'll have you speaking Gaelic in no time at all. Now let's take a quick look at some of what we've covered today. Mathin va. Good morning. Mathin va. And if it's afternoon or evening, fisker ma. Fisker ma. To ask someone how they are, Kimera how. How are you? Kimera how. And to be polite, Kimera hashiv. Kimera hashiv. To reply to that question, you would say, Hami gema tachbelicht. I'm well, thank you. Hami gema tachbelicht. Or the more formal, tachbelieve. Hami gema tachbelieve. To ask someone what their name is, it's Joy Dunlop. What's your name? Joy Dunlop. And finally, to tell someone what your name is, it's Misha. Misha. Will Harshin Shinakav Hiet programs in 3. That's the first program in this series of Speak Gaelic. Shin Hiet program sin 3. Remember, you'll find lots of supporting materials on our website, as well as information about language classes you can join. You can also watch all of the programmes in this series on BBC iPlayer and download our podcasts from BBC Sounds. I'll be back with more Gaelic phrases for you in the next episode, but before I go, I have just one final phrase. Marshin Live. Goodbye. Marshin Live.